Good. So I thought that today we could talk and practice around the subject of fatigue and consider what are some of the causes of fatigue from a allopathic view, and then consider and explore what are causes and possible help that we can have based on ancient wisdom traditions that are also totally connected to neuroscience, but that are in many cases not yet applied in the usual treatments. Although more and more health centers in Harvard, in UCSF, in other places are tapping in the wisdom of the ancient wisdom traditions with Tai Chi, Chi Kong. I mean, even in the Lancet and other medical journals, there are many studies, and they usually refer to Tai Chi, Qigong. We are going to be doing some practices today that are mainly coming from Qigong. They refer to Tai Chi, Qigong because Tai Chi came to the West in the 60s, so there are more people that have heard about Tai Chi and that practice Tai Chi, and there are similarities between Tai Chi and Qigong, although Qigong is more ancient than Tai Chi system. And within Qigong, which is the practice, Qi is your vital energy and Gong is the practice of your vital energy. Within that, there are internal martial arts, which is what we are going to be working with today. Forget about martial arts, but it's more like an internal working with our energy, and then external martial arts, and Tai Chi is part of that. So when you see that beautiful move like this, yes, it looks very relaxing. And in the ways we practice the slower form, that's for relaxing and centering, and many older people practice it in the parks in China and all that. But the movement itself is blocking a punch. So Tai Chi was developed as a self-defense system. And so all the movements, that beautiful movement like this, you are bringing somebody else out of balance. While in the original form, if you practice it slowly, it gives you more a sense of meditation. But in Qigong, all the movements are for healing. So they are running the hands along particular meridians. Meridians are rivers of energy, pathways of vital energy, which in the West we could kind of relate also to nervous energy, but it's not just nervous energy, but it's this vital, almost intangible energy that of our thoughts and emotions that has a direct effect on our organs. So that's Qi. And Qi has to do also with the well functioning of the organs. So when we have the subtle energy of thoughts and emotions that go towards worrying or towards anger, towards despair, that subtle energy that usually would be flowing when you are in a state of health and in a state of peace, in a state of balance, gets like stagnant. It's just like we contract when we have this sense of fear or this sense of unease or this sense of restlessness and anger and all that. There is no flow. We go out of balance. And that's totally natural, and that's part of life, that we will have things that impact us externally, and also our own thoughts and emotions, and will take us out of balance. The secret is not to stay stuck there, because when you stay stuck there, then there is this depletion that comes, and inflammation, chronic stress, all kinds of things that affect you, not only your mind, but also your body, since there is a continuum of body, mind, and spirit. So what we learn in the polyvagal course and in these times that we come together is how tools and skills to come out of when you are thrown out of balance. Embracing what's happening. So we are not uh, rejecting that what's happening at that moment. We are with great compassion and love, observing, noticing, in fact, welcoming, even if we don't like what's going on, just, okay, this is what my body is feeling right now, and this is its adaptive response. So that's another thing that I want you to remember, that the body is always trying to help you. You know, the responses that it has of anxiety when there is fear is because it's trying to help you to perhaps fight or flight. The problem is that sometimes we cannot fight or flight, and so but the body feels that, you know, the visceral with unease, there is tension inside, all that is received, you know, collected through the vagus nerve and is being sent to the brain. We are in fear, we are in danger right now. And the brain says, oh, well, if you are in danger, let me send you more adrenaline, cortisol, and is always trying to help. So what we need to remember is, on the one hand, to trust the body. Don't try to kill the messenger because you don't like the headache or you don't like the restlessness or whatever, and then you take things to numb yourself about it. I know that sometimes it's difficult and all that, but also contemplate the possibility of being kind to your whole system, and as inhabitant of the temple and as a director of the orchestra, magnificent orchestra that we have. Um, Notice, embrace, okay, I'm hearing your message, and let me see what I can do to help you to regain calm again. So we try to calm the body. When the body calms, the mind, which is a process that happens through the body, minding, how are we minding at this particular moment? When the body comes, that minding, that mind also comes. When you take Prozac, you are kind of calming your body, and through that, trying to calm your mind. So, with these other techniques that come from ancient wisdom, you can help your body to calm at the same time that you are giving it more flexibility, more strength to your nervous system, etc., and you don't get addicted to antidepressants or whatever it is that are there, that sometimes in desperation we start taking, and then the body gets more and more numb, and it just doesn't give you um, more feedback because you are telling, you know, you are gagging it. So sometimes when we practice, when we start practicing, you start feeling again some of the nausea or tiredness or whatever, and just be patient and don't force anything, and do a little bit less of the practice, but don't reject that the thing is coming up, because you go from the state of numbness to the state of feeling again to the state of feeling better. And that with everything, you know, one needs to witness what's going on to and create a greater framework of peace, of calmness in the body, so that we can process what's going on instead of pushing it aside. It keeps ticking, you know, they are like seeds. So whatever your sensations, different things you have, good sensations or worrisome sensations, when you push them down, they don't go away. They just are seeds, like keep kind of in the darkness of your inner space, proliferating. And at some point, you have to face that and go, okay, well, let me start taking the weeds out from this garden by when the worry comes or the anxiety, whatever. embracing it and transforming it by using this calming uh, and integrating ways of releasing energy. So something else to remember about fatigue is that fatigue is not always about exhaustion. So it's not about that you maybe have been moving too much or working too much and now you need to physically rest. Often fatigue is about lack of release. So you have been experiencing these different triggerings of anxiety, of fear, of worrying about the future, of thinking about the past, whether it's about health or the political situation or whatever, you are having all this, and then you somehow need to release. So that's something of what we are going to be doing today. How to release that anxiety, how to release that being overwhelmed and going into numbness, how to do that daily, and if possible, several times a day. And so that then you're helping again your nervous system to develop a neural base of having moments of peace. So it needs to be given that nourishment, right? So remember that fatigue is not always about just physical exhaustion, but it's a sign that you need to somehow release stagnant energy. And there are many ways of doing it, and I'm going to show you some that come from the ancient wisdom traditions. That the good thing it has is that at the same time is helping your body to come back into balance. Okay, good. So what are possible causes of fatigue? There are many, many different causes, and for different individuals and different moments, it could be one of those. It can be from diabetes, it can be from hepatitis A, B, and C, or it can be from COVID, or it can be from Parkinson, it can be from too much exercise, it can be from too little exercise because you need to move. The body was made to move. So, it's good that you go for walks and that you work in your garden and all that. So, we've seen this, it could be from diet, you have the wrong diet. There are some foods that make you more heavy, more lethargic. It could be from problems in your digestion that often are also connected to stress or wrong combination of food. So, there are lots of things. It's like amazing puzzle that we look at different things and do what we can within what, starting to listen to the body and say, well, what do you really want to eat today? What would feel good? Not just because it tastes good, but what do I feel good when each of you, when I eat this, let's say watermelon or avocado or whatever, an apple or whatever. Um, so listen to your body and always treat it like a welcome messenger that is trying to tell you something. And then you, this conscious being that's here, uh, not only through reasoning, but also through, again, training ourselves to listen to our body and to be able to uh, assist it. Are you needing a nap? Are you needing to go for a walk? Are you needing to maybe drink some water? Um, okay, so it could be many things. Today we are going to be talking especially about how to overcome fatigue from the inside out. So fatigue could be a sign of freeze, what in polyvagal theory we call freeze, which is, I'm going to be talking now in polyvagal theory terms, and then I'm going to relate them also to ancient wisdom. So polyvagal theory is about how our organism responds if we are feeling under threat or if we are feeling in danger. And so how the neuroception, the way our nervous system senses the initial responses we have to a situation or to to our thoughts and emotions. Sometimes they are repetitive cycles, and probably we know lately that we have had so much being traumatized by what's happening, that then we enter into these cycles of what else is going to come, what's going to happen in the future, how is this possible to be happening now. And again, we are trying to somehow figure things out to move through, but at the same cognitively, but at the same time, we need to notice, okay, and what's happening to my body right now, and notice, yeah, I'm feeling depleted. I'm starting to disconnect. It's just getting to be too much, or maybe I'm always restless or whatever. And so go, okay, this is totally natural. Right now, there are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that are going through this all over the world, and also very much in the United States. And how can we work? How can we work on us so that we can be embodying safety in, for example, in this class and in other times when you do your practices, when you meet with people? Let's try to bring this embodied safety to our communities. Today would be 99 years since the birthday of Thich Nhat Hanh, and I often have shared with you this, that he has said that when the people of Vietnam, under that horrible war that he was also suffering for, um, from, they went into the boats and they would face the storms and the pirates that would rape the women, attack them, take them prisoners, and if everyone was panicking, then it was more difficult for them to even bring the boat to where it needed to go. So the dangers are still there, but we need at least one person was calm, maybe two, maybe three. So yesterday when I was meditating, I realized that the same happens in our body. We have 37 trillion cells. Can you imagine that? More cells in our body than stars in our galaxy. And they all work together to keep us healthy and to keep us alive. But sometimes they enter into this kind of panic because of our thoughts and emotions, and everything is just coming out of balance. So to bring that boat, that inner boat of ourselves back into calmness, we, the inhabitant of the temple, the one that is capable to perceive and to use some of these tools, some of these techniques, some of this compassion, can bring calmness into that boat of our body so that we can keep navigating into the world no matter what kind of big challenges comes to us. And I'm not saying that we're going to get to a state of bliss and just continue sailing totally fine. No, we're going to be thrown out because of the different things that come to us. And then we are going to develop this resilience. We are developing this resilience of coming back into balance, knowing that we can, knowing that we have the power to notice what the body is telling us, what the body is sensing, and then with compassion, embracing this, like, yes, I'm noticing we are going through a really difficult time right now. We are traumatized as individuals. We are traumatized collectively. Yes, I'm noticing all this, but I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to say, well, there is nothing that can be changed, and so go under the shelter like a turtle and forget, because then the things keep proliferating around. So, you have to, yes, there is a lot, and let me see what I can do at this moment. Let me be the one, this inhabitant of the temple and director of the amazing orchestra of our cells and our system. Let me bring some calm. Let me bring some peace. Let me bring some healing. Okay? So, enough of this introductory. Well, let me explain just tiny bit more and we go to the other room. So today we're going to be working with how to overcome fatigue and boost our vitality and also boost our immune system by working with the energy of the meridians. So meridians are pathways of energy in our body. We have 12 major ones and many other collateral ones, and they are related to our vital organs, each meridian to one vital organ. And within those meridians or rivers of energy, there are points, the acupuncture points that we can also influence with acupressure, so with from our fingers, and we can also influence by tapping or by massaging. So we find the particular point and then we work in that point to release that stagnant energy that we were talking about just a moment ago. And so I'm going to be showing you today some points that we can use to release the stagnant energy that is upsetting our digestion and our sleep and our heart and our lungs, etc. Okay? So I'm going to go now to the other room. I invite you to follow me and also to find a place where you can either sit or stand. I'm going to start by showing all these seating, these different points. In general, the energy practice is better to do it, like, for example, in the morning or mid-afternoon or even before you go to sleep, these ones, not immediately after eating. And I realized that because of the time of our meeting today, also for me, we are going to be practicing a little bit close to breakfast. But for that, I'm teaching less points today. And yeah, and then, but for your general practice, I would advise not, within an hour or 2 hours after sleep, after eating or before eating. That would be ideal. I mean, if you do it now, it will not harm you. But if you wanted to not have your body engage in other processes like digestion and all that, and so that it can fully gather all the benefit of the practice, then don't do it near meals. At least an hour and a half away from a meal. Okay? Okay, now let's go to the other room and let's practice some of this. It's really fascinating. Okay. How are we doing? So, this practice of tapping or massaging in particular points comes from Qigong. And as we were saying, Qigong comes from traditional Chinese medicine and is this understanding of ourselves as a continuum of body, mind, and spirit. And we are going to be working with points along the meridians, which are these pathways of energy that are connected to our vital organs. And the energy that we are talking there is not just the energy of moving from here to there, but more the energy of the well-functioning of the organs. And it's very much connected also to our thoughts and emotions. So it's very influenced by our thoughts and emotions. And that's what I find so fascinating with polyvagal theory, is that it also tells us, look, when you feel with fear or under threat, there are some physiological responses that are automatic, instantaneous, and involuntary that will take you to these states of closing up or being agitated. The good thing is that although they are part of the responses of the autonomic or automatic nervous system, there are some things that we can do to change those responses, to speak to our physiology, to speak to our body in ways that the body understands. One of them is breath, and we have done many practices with that. Another is touch, and we have also done many practices. And another related to touch too is tapping. And behind all this is always training our attention and intention to come to this present moment and to come to what we are doing. So it's not just mechanical, it's not just about tapping anywhere, but bringing our attention to the touch that is happening at that moment. Okay, so let's start. The first one that I want to show you today is a point that's called Susan Lee 3 miles point. And it's a very important point. If you don't remember any other point, I would say remember this one, and also, of course, the one that we always use, the Sea of Tranquility point. So let me bring this a little bit right here. So the Susan Lee point we will find by using our fingers and putting our fingers right at the end of our, let's see if I can, at the end of the kneecap. So here, and I'm using the opposite arm to the opposite leg, right? And so we count 4 fingers down, your own width of your own fingers. And we also look for the little hole there, the little indentation. And so that gives us the line that we are going to be following to 4 fingers down. And so it's a point that is not at the bone and is not at the tendon, it's in between the two of them. 4 finger breadth down from the end of your kneecap. And if you flex your feet, you will notice that that point kind of sticks up. Of course, you can do this sitting, but if I do it this way, you will not see it. This is the only reason why I'm putting it this other way. And it's also good if you can do it with the leg not bended, because that gives you even better the position of the point. In any case, don't worry, because you are going to be using your whole hand and you're going to be tapping, like if you are tapping with the forefinger right at the end of your kneecap. So you are getting that point for sure. Okay, so this is Susan Lee, is a stomach point. The stomach meridian starts here, goes down here, and then along here, then passes near the stomach. We have the stomach only on the left, but we have 2 meridians for the stomach, one on the left, one on the right. It keeps going down on the side here of the legs and all the way down to the feet and out. So, and the stomach and the spleen are within Chinese medicine are a couple. So they are both very much affected by wearing. So notice that how when you are worried, your digestion is not so good and your assimilation is not so good. So you can say, well, how can I stop worrying given all the things that are happening? And yeah, there are many bad things happening, but are we changing the situation with worrying? No. So are we changing it with keeping reading more? No. So do what you want to do about the situation, perhaps participate in protests or perhaps just be kind to other people. So knowing that everyone is going through a difficult moment right now. But wearing in itself doesn't help. So it's a messenger. It's just like, oh, okay, my digestion is upset even if I'm eating healthy food. Okay, well, let me see what I can do because my body is giving me the message right now that we need to calm down a bit. And so this is a very good point to help with your digestion. And it's also a good point to help a little bit on thinking, kind of having, as you massage this point, having the visualization that you are letting go of layers and layers of your worry, and that you are helping right now your digestion by working also with this point that is very powerful stomach point. And it's very interesting because Susan Lee means 3 miles, and it's called Susan Lee because it's supposed to give you energy to walk 3 extra miles when you feel that you just don't have any more energy. So how interesting the relation between having more energy and being able to release, stagnation in the spleen stomach axis, right? And the spleen, which is a very important immune system organ, very much related to the immune system, the spleen and the stomach are both very much debilitated and affected by worrying. When we get stuck into worrying. So I'm not saying don't care about anything. No, I'm saying notice when you're getting stuck on these repetitive cycles that unfortunately feed onto each other. They're like physiological responses. So, okay, notice that and go, okay, this is what my messenger is telling me right now. Am I going to kill the messenger by just getting drunk or video binging or whatever? Or am I going to listen to my messenger who's telling me we need to do something to come back into homeostasis, into balance? And this is one of the things you can do. You can massage your Susan Lee. It's going to be amazing. I promise you, it's going to be amazing to help you with your digestive processes. It's a great point to remember if you have stomach pain or bloating or heaviness after eating, maybe too much or wrong combination of foods. Of course, next time look at the better combination of foods, but this point is really, really great in helping with everything related to stomach and spleen. So during COVID, when I was doing videos to try to help people not to panic when confronted with all these new situation we couldn't understand, what was happening with COVID all over the world and in our country. And I also recommended to use this point to boost your immune system by, in as much as you can, also letting go of worry every day. Every day, take a few moments. If you prefer gardening, go gardening. It's one thing doesn't take away another, But okay. So this is a very important point. Will we remember it? 4-finger breath down from the patella and from the kneecap, and then in line with this indentation here, and between the bone and the tendon, and then it kind of, you can feel it coming up as you flex your feet, ah, as you flex your feet. Okay, good. So this is one, and we can massage, we can tap. This is to release stagnant energy. Perhaps you would have a bird, perhaps you would have who knows what, just moving the stagnant energy along the stomach meridian. Great. And another way that it can be massaged is by bringing your other leg and using your heel to rub that point. Yeah, I have seen some Chinese healers do this and teach this. It's very interesting. It's just, it gives us a different, and of course on the other side too. It gives us a different sense of our body, because we are very accustomed that mainly it's the hands that can do the touch or the massage, but yeah, the heel can also help. How does it feel for you? Good, excellent. Okay, so that was Susan Lee, 3 miles point, stomach point along the very long stomach meridian. So then let's go to kidneys. So the kidneys, as you know, are these two little like have the shape of a sack in a way, and are by the spine and more or less at the height of the waist. And we are going to be massaging there, up and down, in and out. Or we can tap. And so again, it's not just mechanical, also bring your attention to receiving the massage. That makes a difference. And you can use your hands flat, or you can put your hands like this. These are detoxifying points, the Heku point along the large intestine meridian. You can massage. Okay, so up and down, in and out, massaging in circles, or tapping. And if your elbows don't allow you to do that, just visualize that you're doing it, or find some way of adapting so that you can get to either one or the other. Or maybe one elbow is more flexible than another. Okay. And again, notice how you feel. It's very interesting because the kidneys within traditional Chinese medicine are associated with fear. So when we are massaging the kidneys up and down, or circles, or tapping, we are dispelling stagnant energy that's debilitating the kidneys, and that is related to fears. So it's another major point that it would be great if you can several times a day massage. It's also very interesting because in traditional Chinese medicine, the kidneys are the storage of our vital energy. I mean, of course, it's all over the body, but the kidneys are related to the energy that we receive, the original chi that we received when we were born. And but they are also very much related to the energy, the vitality. So how interesting, again, this connection between fear. Fear robs us of vitality. Why? Because our energy is going to this process of restlessness, of fight, flight, and often there is no possibility for fight, flight, and then there is all this stagnant energy that keeps there, and the sympathetic goes in overdrive because it just keeps feeding on itself in repetitive cycles until we, the inhabitant of the temple and director of the orchestra, goes, oh, okay, I guess my body is telling me, look, you are all the time tense. Can we do something to let go of this? And so come back to your kidneys. Believe me, it does make a difference. Just you have to massage, have the intention of releasing layers and layers of that stagnation, which is already happening as you are tapping or massaging. Also, if you are somebody that loves to go in nature, maybe go up in the hills and down, that's a great thing to be in nature. And keeping your hands here, if you can, your hands at the kidneys will give you extra energy. So, you are connecting the cycles of replenishment. So your mind, your memory is reminding you, oh, okay, let me see how it is if I put my hands here as I walk and as I breathe deeply, inhaling deeply and then exhaling, and it will give you more energy. One of the states that we sometimes go in is this state of detachment, disconnection, fatigue, depression, sometimes alternating with the fight flight, it's just like And so we always can benefit from massaging the kidneys and tapping the kidneys a bit with the intention of dispelling stagnant energy. And you're bringing, attention, intention, touch, breath. Every time you inhale, you feel more energy. So remember that already in your breath, you have this seesaw of sympathetic and parasympathetic. As you inhale, you are priming your sympathetic nervous system, which when regulated is great because it gives us energy to walk, to dance, to bike, to, whatever we are doing. So we want the sympathetic. And in the exhale, is priming the parasympathetic, which is rest and repair. And we have this seesaw since the very first moment that we were born. So now we can, knowing that one helps more, for relaxing, or one helps more for revitalizing, we can also consciously sometimes take a few deep inhales as we massage our kidneys to replenish our energy, and sometimes the fatigue also comes from feeling there is nothing I can do, or I am alone in all this, and there's just nothing that anyone can do or I can do. When you go and you actually take an action, instead of just allowing that thought to completely overwhelm, you take an action and go, okay, yes, the situation is difficult. Yes, I'm tired. Yes, I'm feeling alone, whatever. But let me see what I can do. In the exhale, let go of your concerns, worries, fears. In the inhale, invite new possibilities, new opportunities, new life. And I'm not saying you have to change your life completely. I'm saying more life energy. And notice also if some things need to be done, pasito a pasito, step by step, do whatever you can. Okay? So far we have seen the Susan Lee here, 3 miles point to help also with digestion and overcoming worrying, and here the fear. And now let's go to another point that's related to the kidneys, this point here. And this is called elegant mansion. If you find your clavicular bones, and then there is the head of the clavicular bone. So the clavicular bone is this one. And the head is like there. And then immediately under the head, if you come just down a little bit, there is an indentation. And that's elegant mansion. It's the end of the kidney meridian. And again, very important for replenishing ourselves. So we are going to be tapping there. And we are tapping on the one hand, giving extra energy to our kidneys and letting go of any stagnant fear. And because of the location of the point, which, the kidneys are at the waist, but the end of the kidney meridian is here, is in the upper lung. So as we tap here, that point and some points under, we are also releasing any stagnation in our chest, which we often just also kind of carry things in our chest. So we're helping our lungs. Let's have a deep inhale. Next sign, and a deep exhale, also releasing, relinquishing. Yes, I can. Yes, we can. Inhale, exhale. Yes, I can bring myself into a moment of peace. I let go of what's stagnant here. Another very wonderful way of releasing is rubbing your hands and then massaging here the area of the lungs and the heart. And of course, lungs are affected by grief. heart is affected by betrayal. It's also affected positively by joy, but we are seeing right now which emotions are the ones that uh, deplete us, fatigue us. So to work from inside out in this continuum of body, mind, and spirit, also massaging the area of our heart and lungs, and letting go of what might be stagnant energy. And ending with pressing a little bit on the sea of tranquility point, 4-finger breath up from the base of your breastbone, and bringing ourselves to a moment of peace, because we now know that a lot of the fatigue is tension that either brings us to restlessness or to despair. So after we have loosened up a little bit these things, this stagnant energy, we bring our palms here and inhale and exhale, letting go of tensions. 2 or 3 breaths, noticing whatever you're feeling right now and embracing it. Remember to love the messenger, right? Love your body, mind, and spirit. We can also do a little bit of the butterfly, the little butterfly that now is alive again. Yes, your insula, a part of your brain that's connected to your sense of yourself. Yes, I am a butterfly right now. Yeah, there is a little bit more possibility to move and to be light, at least for a moment. And also we are co-regulating each other, your presence here is helping me. I hope my presence here is somehow also accompanying you and helping you. And so I invite you to keep coming together, and also to use the videos that are in the YouTube channel, The New Paradigms, and subscribe to the channel. If you click the bell, then it will tell you when I put new videos. I try every week or week and a half to put one. And let's do just one more thing. Let's bring the hands here to the elbows, to the shoulders, sorry. And let's go along here and out. So this is another way that you kind of stimulate your meridians that are along your arms, and also that you let go of whatever stagnant energy might be there. Okay, and then on the other side, this also feels really good. And I have seen, Chinese healers doing this, and I have been taught, the importance of massaging. It's almost like if you are, let's say you have a long glove and you are taking your glove out, glove of tension, and then just totally out. Okay, and the arms, and also the front of the body and towards down. So you just go down here and down along your abdomen and along your legs, on the way to your feet and out through your feet. So we expel through the arms and hands at the end, and we kind of accompany all that other stagnant energy all the way down to the feet, and then we expel through the feet. And of course, you can do it while you're sitting, just all right. And you can do a little bit on your back too, always from the top down. And when you do the back, you go again, connecting with your gluteus maximus and along your legs and your feet. Okay, I hope you'll remember some of this and practice. If you can practice immediately after we finish, you will remember more, or you can rest maybe after we finish and enjoy the Resonance of what we have done. It's really wonderful to see you. Thank you for coming, and do practice a little bit. That's the secret for transformation. It's not about big things or, I need to remember everything, and so I need at least half an hour or 45 minutes. No, just something little. Even if you just remember massaging your kidneys is one of my favorites. So can we do it? Yes, we promise to each other. Look at all these wonderful faces and community. We are helping each other by showing up together.